Yo, what's good, everybody? SoaR Leamonhead here. Today I'm gonna be doing an Octane's tips, tricks, and tutorial style video. We're gonna go over a bunch of stuff: super glide, stim movement, pad movement, all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make it as easy to understand as possible. Let's just jump right into it. So the first thing we're gonna go over is super gliding, and in my opinion, I think super gliding is one of the most useful things on Octane at the moment. I think it really does change the character and the way you can play him with lurch strafes and super glides and clearing gaps and all sorts of stuff. So I'm just gonna show you guys a couple variations, how to do them, you know, little tips and how to make it more consistent, just anything like that. But jump right into it. So the premise of super gliding is to climb to the very, very tippy top, almost the last frame of your climb, and you're gonna be hitting your crouch and your jump at the same time. And my crouch is V and my spacebar is my jump. I also have scroll wheels jump, so when I scroll down I can not interfere with having to hit spacebar twice to do a glide, because that's just really awkward the way I just did it. So first thing you want to do when we're starting any sort of directional super glide is you can just do a normal straight on super glide and tap strafe, but for anything that you see me doing where I'm like shooting off to the side then going backwards or doing some crazy weird snake movement or anything, it's all done with doing sideways super glides, which is the same thing as a normal glide. You're gonna climb up to the very tippy top, but you're gonna switch off of W and hold down D. So you're gonna completely let off your W key or your forward input and hold down any side input, and then hit your super glide timing the same as you normally would. And then you could throw in like the little tap strafe that I did right there. You can kind of delay it too. Like you could really delay it. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So yeah, like you can like launch all the way out and then shoot right back in. Super confusing for people to track that. But yeah, you can really get into all sorts of directions. You can do a sideways super glide, but if you hit S and your glide all at the same time, you can go backwards like that and also redirect it. I think super gliding is one of the most versatile movement techs in the game for all characters. I think it benefits characters with speed boost, you know, Maggie, Octane, any characters like that where you get a significant speed boost through abilities or an alt or whatnot. But now we'll jump into stim related stuff, and that is like things like getting angles on people quicker. Say that my teammate's taking an angle on this guy right here, and he's on the roof and this guy's over here. I can essentially take the right side over here, maybe climb up here and take an angle. Obviously the sandbag's in the way, which is unfortunate, but you get what I mean. You can really cut distances in half with Octane stim. And just get to people quicker and take them out. Also resetting or rotating or anything with Octane stim. Just don't overuse his stim, because running out of HP and having to show up to a fight and popping a med kit, you're just gonna kill your team. You're gonna get them killed. So now we're on to a pretty basic but not very well known tip for Octane, and that is with healing. If you pop a med kit and let the timer go all the way down till about 1 second left to 0.5, that's where I usually like to hit it, you can hit the stim and have full HP while you stim. So instead of stimming after the medkit and losing the HP, you can just pop the stim right before it, let the medkit fully heal you, and then you'll be fast for 6 seconds and have full HP, which is a huge throw off for anybody shooting you. They're going to expect you to be a little bit lower, but you're still full HP. So there's a tech that you can do with the stim that's a little interesting that no one really does, but I know Gruick made a video on this. And if you guys already know that I do a lot of rail sliding, which is when you slide off of rails or any object that you land on and use the edge to essentially slide, like I just did right there. If you stim and slide over a rail, do you see how I get that big old speed boost where I slide over it? Like I almost get the super glide momentum. That is extremely hard to hit on anybody, and it's also very easy to hit your shots out of it because you're only going in a straight line. I think this is an extremely useful thing. There's a couple of buildings in Fragment that you can slither on top of this little box to fit through like this little like a ceiling and wall gap that you just shoot right into it and go right through a door and cut off the time of having to run around the whole thing. It's super helpful. You can find spots for it. It's definitely not the most, you know, useful or versatile thing. Yeah, as I say to a lot of people with movement and when they're learning it, is that you will not become amazing with movement overnight. It really comes down to this person's creative mindset, what they want to do, the routes they take, the wall jumps they want, like all that stuff. It really just comes down to the individual, how creative you truly are with the movement text. Now we're heading into pad movement stuff, and first one we're gonna go over is probably my favorite thing to do inside of any building, and that is ceiling sliding. If you put a pad underneath any flat surface like this, I know this doesn't look flat, but the hitbox for it is completely like flush, so there's no bumps or whatever. So to initiate a ceiling slide, you just have to put a pad right by a ceiling or on the floor and have a flat ceiling above it, and you just do a slide into the pad and it... Well, that pad doesn't want me using it, so we'll go over here. All you have to do is just a normal slide jump directly into it, nothing else to it, and you will be able to do some really crazy creative stuff out of it. I mean, like look at what I can just slide over it too. I mean, it's so fun to do it. It's super satisfying. I don't think you can ever get bored of it. It's a little hard to find spots for this. You're not going to find something this perfect everywhere on the map, so you're definitely going to have to find areas to use it or not use it, but yeah, we'll jump into the next thing. All right, now we're on to doing a tap strafe before you even hit the pad. So you can already do a tap strafe or whatever when you hit the pad and then you have your double jump saved up. You can do it like that, or you can actually run towards the pad, tap strafe, and then tap strafe again. So it's just doing a normal slide tap strafe, so like this, but timing it with hitting the pad. So like you can hit this and then I just airballed it, but you hit it and then tap strafe it. You can kind of be pretty delayed with it too, and it'll still keep that double jump. Like hit it, turn. So you can actually chain it with ceiling sliding as well. So you can do something like this, where you tap strafe backwards and go up this way. So you can really get creative with this. Like it adds even more options to ceiling sliding as well. So you know, tap strafe, tap strafe, tap strafe. Like it's super endless with this. I mean, you can make so much fun stuff and routes and just cool little patterns to throw people off and break their ankles. Now we're on to one last pad movement, and that is going straight up or straight backwards on pads, which is very weird to do. But if you just stand here crouched and punch, you'll go straight up. And if you hold a back input while doing the same thing, so if you go right here and then punch and hold back, you will go completely backwards. And you can do a bunch of redirect stuff off that and use the pad just a little bit, you know, more versatile. Adds a little bit more usage to it, more possibilities. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So what I tell to a lot of people who are in the process of learning movement is that the more creative you are with the movement and the more you practice new types of variations of the same thing, the more it'll become easier to implement in game without thinking about it. And not thinking about movement is the biggest thing, because I think that's really what messes with movement players' aim the most, is they start thinking about, hey, I want to super glide, more than the shots they actually need to take and where to position themselves. So don't think movement is a big priority, but also learn it to the point where it becomes so natural that you don't need to even think about doing anything. But yeah, that about wraps up this video. I appreciate SoaR for you guys having me on here. It is an absolute pleasure to be able to do an Octane video on the SoaR channel. I think it's awesome. You guys couldn't have chosen a better person for it. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Make sure to like all of SoaR's social medias, my social medias. It should all be down in the description. You guys will find it. I'm hoping you guys were able to take something from this video and actually implement it into your own gameplay. I really hope maybe some of the super glide tips help too, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.